All right, Christina, let's take a look at your paper. I'm not going to lie, I have actually really been looking forward to reading this, so I'm kind of excited. This, real quick MLA format, this is not 12-point font. You can see it's much smaller than the rest of the font, so make sure you fix that. All of this is okay. I feel like you could probably be a little bit stronger with your title and a little bit more specific with it, because it's not just a dilemma to you. It might be the worst, possible decision in the history of our country. So I feel like it's more than just a dilemma. Like, it's a dilemma for me to decide whether to eat Lucky Charms or Cocoa Puffs in the morning. But this I feel like needs to be a more strongly worded title for that reason. Okay, so a couple things at the beginning. So you have a date, which marks the upcoming presidential election, which is fine as a starter. When you look at this next sentence, though, it's not complete sentences. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are butting heads on the Democratic bloc, while Donald Trump is making significant headway with the Republican voters. So make sure you change that so it actually is a complete sentence. This is an all-new sentence, so here's your comma splice right here. This is an all-new sentence right here. Because you jump right into Donald Trump. Now, what I would probably do, maybe I would go back, make this one sentence, because you want to separate it from this guy. So make this one sentence, make him a new sentence, and not just that he's making headway, but I saw this down here earlier, at the time when you're writing, had won 12 so far, which is, won way more than that. So maybe move this up with here, which sets up Donald Trump, because this is what it's the paper about. It's almost like, why bring up these two when you're not even going to talk about them? So leave them, put a period here, new sentence, add on to this, and then jump into this question. The one thing that I do like about your introduction, and I'm sorry I'm going to make this connection, you're very much like your sister. You have a good use of the language. Even words like leeway and hysterical and narcissistic and words. Anyways, you have a lot of really good words in here, and it's obvious that you're a pretty intelligent kid. So as you go down here, though, keep in mind, I don't know if you really have this is really your topic. There must be some logical justification for him. And why that would do that. I think it needs to be a little bit more clear that that's your topic, and then it needs to be clear what your main points are going to be, because really after this, these should be your main points, and all I see is a fresh new outlook, but I don't see what those main points would be. This is okay as a thesis statement, but I would love for you to be more specific. Change history for the worse is a little bit weak. How can you make that more specific? And right here you need a comma. The signal of hope to the people and a smashing business ethics, comma. Could very well make it whatever. Or if I were you, go back either that or get rid of that comma. And both of those would be good fixes for that particular sentence. So maybe make a few more things clear here in this introduction. All right, so your paper is about what causes people to like Trump. And the first one, that he's a rogue and an anarchist, I guess is what you're trying to say. Word of note, and I saw it up here too, your your works cited page looks fine, but remember that it goes author's last name first, so it should be just this as your in-text citation. It should be just his last name. This isn't going to be, this will be it on the other side, and I'll show you when we get down to the works cited page how that will look. All right, so your topic, is about the idea that he's a rogue, and you give maybe not a lot of specific examples, because I'd love to see, I'm assuming you research a little bit about what he's saying on the campaign trail, and you talk about the idea that basically cutting ties to, I think in the introduction, cutting ties to all foreign relations, but maybe give some examples from his own campaign about what people enjoy about them, and then turn it around on him and show how that's such a negative thing. All that Republicans want to see is the system crash and burn, and Trump is giving them their fix of destruction just in time for the presidential election. So go back there and look at some of these sentences, because there's a couple of sentences in here that don't make sense. Like the next one, regardless of his political standpoint or position, these voters seem to be attracted solely to his rogue personality, whether it means the very destruction of our nation. Usually when you use whether, you have a couple different options, whether it means this or this. So fix that word choice, even if it means the very destruction of our nation, something like that would be a better word choice there. I would love to see, is this your opinion or did you find this somewhere? The people that vote for Donald Trump, I don't know if they really think that he would do a terrible job. Why would you vote someone that you know would do a terrible job? So I don't know if I agree with that. If you had something to back that up, that might work. This is another sentence. Yet this take on politics is risky and forsaken by most, if not all, candidates. The people have such a strong amount. This feels like whole nother sentence. And so I would want to see a little better sentence here, or maybe split this comma splice here. Now, you go on to that he's a sign of hope. So you need a strong, actually this would work better up here as a transitional statement. And then you could start with a stronger topic sentence down here. So I think I may rearrange that order a little bit. All right, so he's kind of a bad boy was your first one. The second one, he's a sign of hope. I don't know, you spend way too much time talking about Bernie Sanders in here, because this paper really should be focused just on Trump and why he's a sign of hope. Again, I want to see examples. What has he said that makes him a sign of hope, and that now that people are getting on that bandwagon? Because you basically take this whole paragraph to talk about how Donald Trump is going to split into a separate party and create more than two parties, but it doesn't really fit in with what your paper is about. You're just trying to figure out why people support Trump, because essentially everything from here on down is about the whole two-party system, and I guess this is part of the idea. That he is a sign of hope, but it is not well developed in this particular case. Cristina, I think you're spending way too much on people that aren't Trump in here. When you get down to the bottom again, even though I don't want you to use this in a rewrite anyway, there's a comma error here. He's a way to split the two-party system. This is a run-on sentence. In this case, it is already split, so there's your comma splice. So there needs to be something there, either a semicolon or a period. So fit that. And then again, we need a better transitional statement into the next one. So really take a look at this paragraph, because I think you can change a lot in there and make it closer to more about Donald and his sign of hope. And this is where we want to have a better topic sentence in here. So lastly, the most famous characteristic of Donald Trump is the skill to maintain business. So add on to that. Remember, we need a message statement. It's not just here's the cause, but it's got to be a message statement to it. While a good word, I don't know if pelf is the right word for this. Maybe you could convince me, but I'm not sure it's the best word. And then this gets into not about his business. This is just a slam on stupid voters. So what part are you trying to get across with this? This almost, I don't know where you would want to go with this. You got a space issue here. Fox News is capitalized. Again, give me an example. What are his lucky business deals that he's been a part of? I want to see that as an example. Jeopardize, I think, is a Z at the end. You might want to check that. Business and politics is a little bit more closely related. I don't know if that's such a true statement. And this again is a run-on sentence. You're going to want to split this sentence apart. Now, this, obviously you're against Trump, and that this paper shows that. But this is getting in maybe a little bit into too much of your own opinion. Obviously, I know you don't want Trump, but do you really have to say this in the paper? I think it's pretty clear already that that's where you're going with this. So maybe think about that. So with your conclusion, it is true, Donald Trump has been a very successful man. We want to get rid of very, right? But we should not forget that he is known to say as a man of business and no man of politics. So you don't need a comma there either. Remember, you want to repeat your thesis statement here. And then each body paragraph gets its own sentence of summary. All right, so make sure, again, every body paragraph gets its own sentence of summary. You have a lot of run-on sentences in here, kiddo. With the business deal comes losses. This is a whole nother sentence. You got to separate, though. Perhaps his luck has run out is a whole nother sentence here. So you take here's your main points. They're all shoved into one sentence. You want to separate them out a little bit. And I think this is actually for as crazy word, as such good word choice and opinion you have. This is a really lackluster last sentence. Nevertheless, what makes them good reasons is up to the voters and their preference on the day they go marching to the polls come November 8th. I like that you tied the date back in, but you just got done saying that there's no way we should elect a man that talks about this. So I would really make this stronger at the end. You do talk about racism here, but not in the rest of the body paragraphs, and I think that you could probably shove it into this idea that maybe the sign of hope paragraph, the idea that he gives hope to, white supremacists. I'm not sure, so I'd fix that. These do not need to be numbered, and remember, we're going to go last name first. So Freidsdorf, whatever. Then comma Connor. So and then Sanders, comma Bernie. So make sure you do that. It would still be in the same order, but you need to fix that. So just a couple changes there, Christina, that I think you can make for your paper to be stronger. Hopefully we'll see a rewrite out of you.